Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting of February 10, 2020. It's approximately 8:05 p.m. Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Here.
Sensi.
Here.
Council Magno.
Here.
Gibbons.
Here.
Hannon.
Present.
Harrison.
Present.
McLean.
Here.
Mowry.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present. We have 9 members present, and at this time, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to turn to chair announcements. Executive session of council was conducted on January 27, 2020 for personnel and legal issues. And then we'll be having another executive session of council following this meeting, which would be February 10th, 2020, for personnel and legal issues. At this time, before we go into the agenda for the people that are here tonight, I hope I got this right, but we have pulled item H, I, K, and L off the agenda. It's appointment to some boards and commissions. So if I screw that up when we get to it, it's not my fault. This time, could we turn to library director's report? I think we outlasted her. She left. Chief O'Connor.
I'm still
Police
here.
chief, of course.
Our mayor, council, hi, good evening, everyone. Tonight is our annual Merit Award presentation. Each year, our officers and staff at BPPD select those members for their dedication and performance over the past year. And tonight they'll receive their awards. First, I want to thank our award board members for their time in putting this together this year. And we have some board members here. Mr. Bailey, Andy, Lieutenant. He's in the back, he's hiding. And Mr. Mowry, there he is there. Those are some of our board members. Mr. Flynn's not here tonight. Okay. Thank you all for your time in putting this together. I also want to thank our sponsors for their generous contributions to make this possible, because there is in addition to a nice plaque, they get a check. So thank you for those contributions. So Andy, you want to come up and help? Okay. Mr. Bailey. Okay. In third place is Officer Eric Anabaldi. Is he here? We're not real formal here, as you know. In second place is Sergeant David B. Arnold. Now, we have a tie for first place because these guys voted for each other. Think if they had voted for someone else, this wouldn't happen. But anyhow, it is what it is. So first I want to call up Detective Lance Mattis. And Trooper Matthew Poling. round of applause for all of you. There's cookies and coffee downstairs if you guys want to join the officers and their relatives. Thank you all. God bless. Thank you. As they're filing out, I just want to remind everybody, join us at Crime Watch. It'll be the first Monday in March, 7 p.m. at the Community Center. Learn all about crime in Bethel Park. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you very much, Chief
Thank you.
O'Connor. Okay, can we turn to the fire chief's report?
Good evening. My name is Rob Usselman. I'm Assistant Chief with the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company. Before I give you the incident report for the month, I just want to talk about fireplace safety. Even though the groundhog did say we're going to get an early spring, it's still a little cold out, so we're going to just remind you to keep a few things in mind if you're going to use your fireplace. Always cover your fireplace with a screen. That's very important to keep members from coming out and potentially catching furniture or other things in the room on fire. It's always important to make sure that there's a good safe distance between your fireplace and other contents in your room. So we like to say at least 5 to 10 feet away, but it could be more than that depending on how big the fires you're making in your residence. Never leave your fireplace unattended. If you do have to leave the room and you have a small child with you, make sure you take that child with you. Always make sure you have a smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector. Check your batteries monthly in those, and always replace your batteries once a year. And if possible, keep a fire extinguisher on hand at all times. So with that, that's the fireplace safety reminder. Now for the incident report for January of 2020. We had a total number of 45 incidents, 1 dumpster fire, 3 smoke investigations, 4 gas leaks, 1 vehicle accident cleanup, 1 chemical leak, 1 down power line, 5 good intent calls, 4 CO alarms, and 25 fire alarms. So luckily, none of those were major incidents, so keep being safe and keep practicing good fire safety. That's all. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Hearing none, thank you very much. Can we turn to the manager's report? Mr. Christian.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. One of the nice things I get to do is I get to highlight top-notch performers and fantastic municipal employees. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up Doug Scanlon and Vince Kelly. So for these are introduction for the council.
Don't worry about it.
And the public. So
We'll remember that.
So, first things first, I'm going to introduce Vince Kelly. He is new to the municipality. We just hired him about 3 weeks ago, came on board. He came on board in the residential building inspector and code official. So what Vince does is right now he's a great learning and trying to figure out that massive book that sits on his desk, and he's trying to learn that one. He has a lot of tests he's going to do over the next several weeks to months. Vince came to us after 25 years in the residential building arena, so he brings a wealth of knowledge. So he's going to be out there interacting with our residents and helping them understand the big book of code that he gets to deal with on a daily basis. He's been married for 26 years, and he's got 2 wonderful children and 2 dogs, Marlin and Benelli, and he has been a resident for Bethel Park for about 11 years. So we are so blessed to have him on board, and he's going to do great and wonderful things for the municipality. Thank you so much for coming on board. I truly appreciate it. The next distinguished gentleman I get to introduce right now his name is Doug Scanlon. And talk about the guy who sits behind the camera that no one ever sees. That's this gentleman right here. He is our CCTV technician. So he gets the illustrious duty of sitting in this massive box we call a truck and taking his camera apparatus and going through all the storm and sanitary sewer systems all across Bethel Parks. One of the most unglorious jobs that there is, but needed and necessary. So he gets to tell us what the status of our sanitary and storm sewer systems are across the entire depth and breadth of the municipality. And let me tell you, it's a big job, a really big job. So he brings a lot of experience, a lot of depth of knowledge, and for that we're truly appreciative of his time and efforts. He's a Dormont resident, but we're going to get him over here to Bethel Park, and hopefully we can do that in the near future. So for that aspect, we truly thank you for everything you do for each and every day for both of you. We'll look forward to great, wonderful things for both of you in the future, and we thank you for everything you do. Appreciate it.
We turn to the mayor's report. Mayor Allen.
Good evening. I just had, well, since we're running a little bit late, I cut it down to a few items. So the first thing I wanted to mention was, and many of you probably don't know, that down in the Schoolhouse Arts building, there's a military museum in there. So if you ever get a chance to go down there, there's artifacts, there's uniforms from all branches of the service. I know it goes to World War I. I don't know if you have anything before that or not.
Yes, we have a bugle from the Civil War.
So if anybody gets a chance to go down there, we also have a little display right out in the front, but the one down at the Schoolhouse Arts building is something worth seeing. The second thing I wanted to mention was the Blueprint Bethel Park. This Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, is the deadline to submit comments to Blueprint Bethel Park. That's the municipality's long-range plan. This plan is an official document based on public input and will drive our land use. And we'll use that for the development and budget decisions for the years to come. The draft's available online at blueprintbethelpark.com, where readers can look it over and they can send in their comments, suggestions, and additionally there's comments or copies are available for review at the library and also the community center. So council will consider all the comments that come in, and that way we'll move Bethel Park forward in the next 10 years. Speaking of moving Bethel Park forward, we had a press release today. The Allegheny Land Trust will permanently protect the 40.5 acres of green space in Bethel Park by the end of March, by the end of next month. So council will be voting tonight to approve a grant to the Allegheny County or Allegheny Land Trust to fulfill our portion of the agreement. And this will complete the necessary funding of the project. There'll also be a public meet, greet, and plan event, and that'll be held at Cool Springs on March 11th between 6 and 8. So everyone's invited to come to that event to learn more about the land, about Allegheny Land Trust, and about the immediate plans for the new green space. So this is a rare slice of green space that's in a densely populated area and already has some trails through it. So it's a great project the council worked on with Allegheny Land Trust, and we're looking forward to moving that project forward. And that's all I had.
Mr. Maury,
Mr. Harrison.
I just wanted to comment, excuse me, at the December meeting, I noted that there was, in the budget, there was $35,000 to be from the citizens making contributions. And at that time, there was several $100s short of that goal. So I just suggested maybe people wanted to make a Christmas present or something to the Allegheny Land Trust. I want to report that the amount was very, very nice. We exceeded the amount of the goal. So I want to thank all the people that made contributions. And if you want to make contributions, it's still an option for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And there'll be information on Bethel Park website on the event held on March 11th from 6 to 8 at Cool Springs. They're asking everybody, if you're going to attend or planning on attend, to maybe RSVP to get some information. But this was a great project. It was a community effort. I thank the residents of Bethel Park and others areas that donated. We work with our state representative and state senator to secure a number of grants, and it just doesn't always happen this easy. And I don't want to say it was easy, but we were able to secure multiple grants to be able to secure the property. So we'll be voting on that tonight. Hopefully, we'll be securing the property. Okay, at this time, can I turn to the approval of the minutes? And Mr. Hannan.
There's 4 items tonight. The first one is the minutes of the swearing-in ceremony of January 6, 2020. I move that we approve the minutes for the swearing-in ceremony on Monday, January 6, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, that we approve the minutes from the swearing-in ceremony on Monday, June 6, 2020. Any discussion of this item? January 6, 2020. Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. Hannan.
The second item is the reorganization meeting of January 6, 2020. I move that we approve the minutes from the reorganization meeting of Monday, January 6, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the minutes from the reorganizational meeting on Monday, January 6, 2020. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. Hannan.
Next is the minutes for the public hearing for transfer of a liquor license on January 13th. I move that we approve the minutes from the public hearing for the transfer of the liquor license on Monday, January 13th, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, that we approve the minutes from the public hearing for the transfer of the liquor license on Monday, January 13th, 2020. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. It was a busy January. Mr. Hannan.
The next one is the regular council meeting minutes of January 13th, 2020. I move that we approve the minutes from the regular council meeting of Monday, January 13th, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, we approve the minutes from the regular council meeting on Monday, January 13th, 2020. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. At this time, I would like to turn to the approval of the bills and payrolls, and Mr.
I
Hannan.
move that we approve the bills and payrolls for municipality per bill list number 21020 for $1,424,093.07.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, to approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 21020 for $1,424,093.07. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to the resident comment section for non-agenda items. Hearing none, can we turn to general policy and finance and Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First item is ordinance 2-10-20A, salary ordinance. I move that we approve ordinance number 2-10-20A, amending section 12.2.1 of ordinance number 7-12-93A, the Code of the Municipality of Bethel Park, by providing wages for management, supervisory, and other confidential employees.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve ordinance number 2-10-20A, amending section 12.2.1 of ordinance number 7-12-93A, the Code of the Municipality of Bethel Park, by providing wages for management, supervisory, and other confidential employees. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is approval of retirement, Dean Cristiano. I move that we approve the drop pension retirement election of Police Officer Dean Cristiano with an effective date of March 1, 2020, in accordance with Ordinance 08-10-09.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the drop pension retirement election of Police Officer Dean Cristiano with an effective date of March 1st, 2020, in accordance with the Ordinance 8-10-09. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is approval of retirement, Scott Zinsmeister. I move that we approve the drop pension retirement election of Police Officer Scott Zinsmeister with an effective date of March 1, 2020, in accordance with Ordinance 08-10-09.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the drop pension retirement election of Police Officer Scott Zinsmeister with an effective date of March 1st, 2020, in accordance with the Ordinance 8-10-09. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is reappointment Building and Fire Code Appeals Board. I move that we reappoint Robert Beach to the Building and Fire Codes Appeal Board for a term to expire on December 31st, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we reappoint Robert Beach to the Building and Fire Code Appeals Board for a term to expire December 31st, 2022. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is reappointment to the Civil Service Commission. I move that we reappoint Tom Will to the Civil Service Commission for a term to expire on December 31st, 2022.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we reappoint Tom Will to the Civil Service Commission for a term to expire December 31st, 2022. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is reappointment to the Municipal Authority. I move that we reappoint Alan Stone to the Municipal Authority for a term to expire on December 31st, 2024.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to reappoint Alan Stone to the Municipal Authority for a term to expire December 31st, 2024. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is reappointment to Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services Board. I move that we reappoint Bob McCall to the Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services Board for a term to expire December 31st, 2022.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to reappoint Bob McCall to the Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services Board for a term to expire December 31st, 2022. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
We next go to item J, Reappointment Zoning Hearing Board. I move that we reappoint Stephen Reagan to the Zoning Hearing Board for a term to expire December 31st, 2022.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We reappoint Stephen Regan to the Zoning Hearing Board for a term to expire December 31st, 2022. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Mallory.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
Next, go to item M, Appointment Shade Tree Commission, alternate member. I move that we appoint Brian Juice to the Shade Tree Commission as alternate member with a term to expire December 31st, 2023.
Second.
There's a motion and second that we appoint Brian Jose to the Shade Tree Commission as an alternate member with a term to expire December 31st, 2023. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Mallory.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
Next is Resolution R2-10-20, Allegheny Land Trust. I move that we approve Resolution R2-10-20, approving a grant of $100,000 to the Allegheny Land Trust to support Allegheny Land Trust's purchase and development of a 40.51 acre green space and public park within the municipality.
Second.
There's a motion and second to approve Resolution R2-10-20, approving a grant of $100,000 to the Allegheny Land Trust to support the Allegheny Land Trust purchase and development of the 40.51 acre green space and public park within the municipality. Any discussion of this item? This is the item that was talked about under the mayor's report. This is our agreement to issue a check to the Allegheny Land Trust once they have a date set on when the closing is going to be. That'll be the municipal contribution in addition to the public money that was raised, to the grants we received. And really, just to back up a few minutes, one of the reasons two reasons we actually chose the Allegheny Land Trust for this project. Number one is their expertise in handling properties such as this. It's a conservation area. I know it says park in here, and I've been chastised a few times. It's not a park, it's a conservation district. But the second issue is this will guarantee forever that this property will remain undeveloped. From if a municipality owned it, not to say this board would do it, there could be a board in years to come that could change it to sell it. So this ties the property up forever. It also, in this clause, it's the same as all the grants they received. In their charter, they're not allowed to sell the property. If this was ever resolved, the monies would be refunded back to us, or we could go into receivership potentially to take the property. My point is, I think this is a good project for everybody. Stay tuned on what the future plan is going to be, enhancing the trails and really maintaining it as green space. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Absolutely yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
The fifth ward votes yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Mallory.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. McLean.
There are no additional agenda items under General Policy and Finance.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Are there any additional items from council? Hearing none, let's turn to health, safety, and welfare, and Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have a permanent status for Officer Ryan Elliott. I move that Ryan Elliott be granted permanent status as a Bethel Park police officer in accordance with the memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020 from Chief O'Connor.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that that Ryan Elliott be granted permanent status as a Bethel Park police officer in accordance with the memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020 from Chief O'Connor. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Mallory.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. O'Brien.
Permanent status for Officer Cody Allward. I move that Cody Allward be granted permanent status as a Bethel Park police officer in accordance with the memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020 from Chief O'Connor.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that Cody Allward be granted permanent status as a Bethel Park police officer in accordance with the memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020 from Chief O'Connor. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. O'Brien.
Lexipol, writing of department policies. I move that we contract the service of Lexipol for the writing of department policies in accordance with the police chief's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we contract the services Lexipol for the writing of department policies in accordance with the police chief's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020. Any discussion of this item? Just for everybody's information, this will be an outside source that'll actually do all or update all our policies on a regular basis. It'll be automated. Right now, currently, we do it, I don't want to say manually, but it's done through the staff. This is something that everybody's going to. This is kind of what the future's coming from, and we feel it's going to be best for the municipality, for the officers, and for the residents of the community. Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. O'Brien.
Ordinance number 21020B, no parking on North Lightwood Road. I move that we approve ordinance 21020B, amending chapter 65, article 10, section 65.29, subsection 65.29.1 of ordinance number 71293A. The code of the municipality of Bethel Park, TP, prohibits parking on both sides of North Lightwood Road between Driftwood Drive and Bethel Church Road.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve ordinance 2-10-20B, amending chapter 65, article 10, section 65.29, subsection 65.29.1 of ordinance number 7-12-93A, the code of the municipality of Bethel Park, to prohibit parking on both sides of North Lightwood Road between Driftwood Drive and Bethel Church Road. Wow. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. Murray,
Mr. Harrison.
just a nit, but that TP is a typo. It ought to be TO too.
Yes.
So just for the record, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannan.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. O'Brien.
Mr. Murray, I have one more item. That was a mouthful, wasn't it, Mr.
Yes,
Murray?
it was, Mr. O'Brien.
Hey, real quick, the Veterans Day, Memorial Day is coming and engravings are due. If you want to get your name on the memorial or make a special message, April 1st is the deadline, so you need to get it in here to the municipality so we can take care of that for you. And also, too, the cost of engraving has gone through the roof. So as of June 1st, instead of $100 to get your name on, it'll be $150. We're going to waive the cost this year and increase the cost for years to come. So that's all, Mr. Murray. Thank you so much.
Mr. O'Brien. Are any additional items?
Mr. President,
Dr. Campbell.
just want to mention, we have our first annual Bethel Park Wellness Summit coming up on the week of the 23rd. Sunday, February 23rd to Friday, February 28th. Every single night. We're doing this as a combination for our Live Well Bethel Park program in conjunction with the school district. And we have speakers every night, raffles. This will be at the community center from 6 to 9 each day. Admission is free, and everybody's encouraged to please attend. We've got some really talented speakers and some really great topics that are going to be discussed. For instance, Dr. Will Davies, he's from Allegheny Health Network. He's going to talk about stress management. We have Representative Natalie Mihalik. She's going to talk on a drug identification seminar, which should be quite interesting. We have Rob Dingle, who spoke to us previously on concussions. He's going to address that, concussion management. Denise Morrow, she's going to speak to us on mental health support for parents and for caregivers, because there's a lot of costs involved with emotional costs and caregiving. Katie Dorian from Metz Culinary, she's going to speak to us about nutrition. They even dipped low enough to have me talk about how to get to 100 years of age. So if you don't have anything going on Sunday night, would love to see you there, 6 to 9 o'clock at the community center.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campbell. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to planning and zoning and Ms. Gibbons? And we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you. Application number 2019-0822, Dream Greener Lawn and Landscape LLC, Major Subdivision and Lot Consolidation, 4991 Library Road. I move that we approve application number 2019-0822, Dream Greener Lawn and Landscape LLC, Major Subdivision and Lot Consolidation at 4991 Library Road, in accordance with the Director of Engineering's memorandum dated January 20th, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve application number 2019-0822, Dream Greener Lawn and Landscape LLC, Major Subdivision and Lot Consolidation at 4991 Library Road, in accordance with the Director of Engineering's memorandum dated January 20th, 2020. I have to admit, these resolutions tonight are pretty complicated. Can you simplify these for next month? Any discussion from council? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Ms. Gibbons.
Guardian Self-Storage Milford Drive Site, 1067 Milford, security reduction request. I move that we approve the security reduction for the Guardian Self-Storage, 1067 Milford Drive, in the amount of $900 per the Director of Engineering's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020.
Second. There's a motion and a second that we approve the security reduction for the Guardian Self-Storage, 1067 Milford Drive, in the amount of $900 per the Director of Engineering's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Ms. Gibbons.
Guardian Self-Storage Milford Drive Site, 2061 Milford, security reduction request. I move that we approve the security reduction for the Guardian Self-Storage, 2061 Milford Drive, in the amount of $3,000 per the Director of Engineering's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the security reduction for the Guardian Self-Storage, 2061 Milford Drive, in the amount of $3,000 per the Director of Engineering's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Ms. Gibbons.
Parkside Center Development Security Reduction Request. I move that we approve the security reduction for the Parkside Center Development in the amount of $457,915.31 in accordance with the Director of Engineering's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the security reduction for the Parkside Center Development in the amount of $457,915.31 in accordance with the Director of Engineering's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. Maury,
Mr. McLean.
just want to note that I'll be abstaining from this vote due to the fact that I have provided services to the applicant.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0 with one abstention. Okay, Ms. Gibbons.
Emergency repair work, Steeplechase Court. I move that we approve the issuance of an RFP for emergency repair work required at 5559 Steeplechase Court that includes the installation of an A-wall and associated site restoration.
Second. There's a motion and a second. We approve the issuance of a RFP for emergency repair work required at 5559 Steeplechase Court that includes the installation of an A-wall and associated site restoration. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Ms. Gibbons.
I have no additional agenda items.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbons. Any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Public Works and Maintenance and Mr. Consul Magno?
The best for last. Panic buttons. I move that we approve the contract for third generation to install panic buttons at the cost of $5,224 in accordance with the Public Works Director's memorandum dated January 14th, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the contract for third generation to install panic buttons at a cost of $5,224 in accordance with the Public Works Director's memorandum dated January 14th, 2020. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. Murray,
Mr.
I just want the public to know that these are panic buttons to alert our police department. They'll be strategically located, like in the library, the front desk, to alert our police if there's any emergency activities to protect everyone. So,
Thank you, Mr. Consul Magno. Any discussion from council? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. Consul Magno.
Vehicle replacement, purchase of 2 dump trucks. I move that we approve the purchase of 2 Ford F-550 dump trucks from TriStar Motors at the cost of $190,747 in accordance with the Public Works Director's memorandum dated February 7th, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the purchase of 2 Ford F-550 dump trucks from TriStar Motors at a cost of $190,747 in accordance with the Public Works Director's memorandum dated February 7, 2020. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. Consul Magno.
Community Center multipurpose dividers. I move that we approve the purchase of new dividers for the Community Center from Eastleigh and Rivers Incorporated at the cost of $34,000 in accordance with the Public Works Director's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020.
Second.
Second.
There's a motion and a second
Thank
that we
you.
approve the purchase of new dividers for the Community Center from Easley and Rivers, Inc. at the cost of $34,000 in accordance with the Public Works Director's memorandum dated January 23rd, 2020. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. Murray.
Mr. Consul Magno.
These dividers are about 20 years old and separate the rooms over at the community center, which are quite in need of replacement. So that's what this is for. Our tax dollars at work.
Thank you, Mr. Consul Magno. Any other comments? Hearing none, Mr. Christian, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. Consul
The
Magno.
last item, lawn equipment. I move that we approve the purchase of 2 John Deere tractors from Middletown Tractor Sales at the cost of $14,083.50 in accordance with the Public Works Director's memorandum dated January 28th, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the purchase of 2 John Deere tractors from Middletown Tractor Sales at a cost of $14,083.50 in accordance with the Public Works Director's memorandum dated January 28, 2020. Any discussion of this item?
I'm told that these are replacing the hand grass cutters that the Public Works Directors were using over there. So these will be, go to a
Thank you, Mr. Consul
Thank
Magno. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr.
Getting
Christian,
late.
would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Sensi.
Yes.
Council Magno.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Mr. Consul Magno.
That's it, Mr. Murray.
Are there, thank goodness, any other items from council? Hearing none, can I have a motion to adjourn? Second.
So moved.
All in favor, good night, everybody.